So earlier today, Take-Two Interactive had their yearly shareholder meeting, and I suspected at this meeting that something interesting could happen. And after the expanded and enhanced announcement that occurred last week, I figured maybe this would be an opportunity for Take-Two Interactive to respond. But we actually, at the end of the day, just kind of got some good news, maybe for GTA 6. And I'll be telling you guys about that in this video today. So a lot of this conference was very businessy, doesn't necessarily even talk about video games per se. And a lot of people thought Rockstar, or I should say Take-Two Interactive, was going to actually talk about the recent backlash that ultimately happened. And this is coming from Videotech, who listened to the conference. He said, Take-Two just ended the meeting and no shareholder asked any questions, with a follow-up saying they basically dipped out as soon as they could, with insider Tez Funds 2 saying same thing happened with a previous meeting and the one before. The meeting had nothing to do with the recent delay. I expected it to be the same as last year's meeting. So basically what he's saying here is there was no opportunity for the shareholders to open up and ask questions, which is kind of what we see get to happen on the financial quarterly earnings calls that happen, obviously a couple of times a year. However, as Tez Funds 2 pointed out, that this is not unusual. In fact, it's something that they usually don't even do. So Take-Two Interactive was not going to answer any questions here. I will leave as many sources to this as I can in the description, but it didn't look like that was going to be the opportunity in which they were going to be talking about anything. Now, what was interesting was some numbers that were actually released from this. So looking at a couple of interesting numbers, Grand Theft Auto 5, over 145 million units sold. GTA Online saw an increase in participation of 31%, which is awesome. That means Grand Theft Auto Online is continuing to just grow and grow and grow. In fact, it actually achieved a new annual record, which we saw Rockstar say as Grand Theft Auto continued to expand its audience and set new benchmarks, and that in calendar 2020, more copies of Grand Theft Auto 5 were sold than any other year, except for when it first launched in 2013. A couple of other interesting things they said. We have the strongest multi-year pipeline in our company's history. We expect to deliver approximately 20 titles per year for the next several years throughout a combination of new and existing franchises. I would say that this is good news to see another GTA title, and who knows if that's going to be just the trilogies that are being remastered, or if this is the one we're all looking forward to, GTA 6. Again, those are some interesting things that they noted there. However, the real interesting information comes in this part where they talk about commitments and contingencies. A summary of annual minimum contractual obligations and commitments as of March 31st, 2021 is as follows. So you can see there, they have it listed out for the next set of fiscal years, 2022, 23, 24, 25, 26, and thereafter. And you guys can see there, at least the big jump that players are pointing out is the marketing in fiscal year 2024. You guys can see there that year over year, it jumps from $42,376 to $84,729. Why all of a sudden would Take-Two Interactive double their marketing budget for something like that, the minimum that they have to do? I can only imagine it would be for an absolute massive title. And under marketing agreements, you can see it says we have certain minimum marketing support commitments where we commit to spend specified amounts related to marketing our products. Marketing commitments expire at various times through September 2025 and primarily reflect our agreements with major sports leagues and other player associations. So that's interesting. They're essentially going to start doubling their marketing budget in fiscal 2024. A lot of people saw this and started hoping that that would be for GTA 6. So GTA 6 fans all over the place were kind of clamoring that this could mean, okay, in fiscal year 2024, which actually starts March 2023, is that when they're going to start advertising for Grand Theft Auto 6? And honestly, that kind of makes sense because if the rumors are true and we're going to be getting the GTA trilogy remastered in 2021, 2022, we're going to get Grand Theft Auto 5 expanded and enhanced. Then that would leave Grand Theft Auto 6 for 2023, at least when they start talking about it potentially. However, the only thing that's a little bit off here is this is in no way, shape, or form going to cover the marketing budget for GTA 6. In fact, it's barely going to cover the price of probably printing out the labels for these games. So this table only lists existing signed up commitments that were in place by March this year. And as the notes state, it's mainly for things handled directly by Take-Two Interactive for activation by studios, such as licensing agreements with the NBA and so on. I, again, think the GTA 6 budget is going to be much bigger than that. Now, sort of speaking of the trilogy and expanded and enhanced, as we talked about the other day, a huge leak came out where the NVIDIA GeForce Now database was revealed, and it included a ton of games, including some Rockstar titles. Well, NVIDIA has actually responded to this because obviously things would have gotten even more wild if Grand Theft Auto 6 was on that list. Well, NVIDIA did respond. They said NVIDIA is aware of an unauthorized published games list with both released and or speculative titles used only for internal tracking and testing. Inclusion on the list is neither confirmation nor an announcement of any game. NVIDIA took immediate action to remove access to the list. No confidential game builds or personal information were exposed. Now, that's cute and all, and NVIDIA pretty much has to say that, because even if the list was 100% accurate, they would claim the same, because we know they are under NDAs for their titles that are in their database, for drivers or whatever other purpose. So if they were to go outright and confirm certain titles on the list, they would for sure be sued. So they have to admit that these are speculative and it's neither a confirmation or an announcement. But I truly do believe that the trilogy remaster of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas are on there because they are real and they are going to be coming soon, which means we'll have something in 2021. We'll have something in 2022 with expanded and enhanced. So does that open up the door for GTA 6 in 2023? Honestly, I kind of feel bad for the trilogy remaster because now they're going to be under so much scrutiny after the expanded and enhanced debacle. And honestly, at this point in time, I don't know if Rockstar can do anything without it getting criticism if it isn't GTA 6. So, man, things are starting to get really interesting out of this little shareholder meeting that happened earlier today. We just got some interesting tidbits, but they didn't really go up there talking about games or anything specific like that. But I would love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Do you see this as good news for GTA 6 that suddenly Take-Two Interactive is increasing their marketing budget? Or do you think it's really for something entirely altogether? Let me know what you guys think in those comments down below. I would love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.